This drone doesn't go backwards, and it doesn't need to, because it can shoot in 360 degrees. You never need to worry about where this drone is aiming, and that's its biggest advantage over other drones. If this is close to your subject, don't worry about where it's looking. It can see behind it. It can see on top of it. It can see in front of it. It can see on the side of it. It doesn't matter what angle this is pointing at, and that's the big deal. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are talking about what I think will become the game changer in recording eFoiling. This is the Antigravity A1. It's the same company that makes the camera that I shoot most of my footage with all the time. For years now, if you've been watching Verdant Ride, most of it's shot handheld or hip mounted with an Insta360. I've had the X2, X3, X4, and the X5. And every time I buy one of those cameras, it gets better. The clarity gets sharper, the resolution gets higher, you're able to move further away from your subject. Not much, it's a close throw cam, but it works pretty dang well. Well, they made a flying version that solves a major problem with capturing eFoiling. When you're doing handheld, it flattens everything out. You can't see waves, you can't see the texture. You don't get a sense of motion or how fast anyone's going because you're traveling with the board, and because it's not really made to pick up details that are far off in the distance. You don't get a sense of speed. Drones change that. But drones are really, really hard to fly. Look, if like Tom lived next door to me, the guy I went to Puerto Rico with, who shot all the drone footage for us and is an actual pilot, like flies airplanes, yeah, he's great with a drone. Just fantastic. He still crashes them in the water sometimes, but I mean, he gets great shots. I don't have a Tom, I have a Laura. And when you're stuck with a Laura, you know, you use technology for all its advantages. This camera, like the Insta360 cameras, you just put the camera wherever. And then in post, you aim it where you want it to look. I know a lot of people think that sounds intimidating, like the editing process is going to be a big deal. Me, I can race through it. Like, I can race through an hour's worth of footage while watching a TV show. Man, it's not that bad. And the quality you get is amazing. Let's take a look at this drone and why I think if you're looking to capture better video of your eFoiling and you don't have a Tom, and most of us don't, this might be the way to go. Let's take a look at it. And this episode is brought to you, like all episodes this season, by BAWLS Guarana Beverage. It's delicious. It's low or no sugar is what I'm drinking today. And it has the best form of energy in it that I've ever found. These guarana berries are awesome. They give you a nice, stable, long-lasting drip of caffeine for hours. It's great. It's perfect. It's exactly what you want, and it does not taste like battery acid. It's delicious. I promise it is. Buy a case, you will thank me. All right, let's take a look at these components. First up, we've got our drone, and it is tiny, tiny drone, okay? Folds up all nice and small. And I do think this is vastly superior to the DJI 360 drone. I checked it out and it does not have the features I want. I get that a lot of you probably already own DJI drones and you've already got a controller. And so you're thinking, man, I can just buy the drone, it's real cheap. It is not anywhere near as good as this. Here's where like the video professionals, which technically I am, but I'm different than them. I am not a pretentious video professional. I don't think that the average person needs 10-bit video. In fact, I think that the average person, when they shoot in 10-bit, really end up shooting themselves in the foot. Unless you're a professional colorist, and really understand how codecs work, I would avoid using anything but in-device color optimizing hardware and software. Why? They're optimized to look the way most people want their video to look. It's saturated, it's bright, it auto adjusts. 10-bit is great. And yes, professionally, I shoot in 10-bit. Why? Because it gives freedom to my post team to do things to it that, you know, basically to correct things that maybe were flawed when we shot. That's why we do it. Otherwise, I really wouldn't mess with 10-bit. I would never shoot 10-bit for like a non-professional video, right? I really wouldn't. I really use it specifically for its ability to adjust gain and temperature and mostly exposure well beyond what was possible to capture. Like when we got it, we can actually boost it in ways that are lossless. Otherwise, you do not need 10-bit color. I really mean it. You don't need, most people don't need 10-bit color. If you put this stuff up on YouTube or Instagram or the Tickety Talks or wherever you're putting this, I promise you, your 10-bit color will not make it through to the end. It'll give you a little bit of freedom if you are a professional editor in adjusting some exposure. But this thing, as far as I can tell, it always has perfect exposure. Unless you're looking directly at the sun with these lenses, which makes for a great effect, frankly, it's gonna do a great job of auto adjusting. I'm gonna show you just one thing you do need to be careful of with any 360 cam. They have domed lenses on top and bottom here, which means you really don't want them to touch anything. They are replaceable, these lens covers, but you don't want to have to deal with that. So I just need to bring your attention to these feet. Okay? I just put them down. See how that works? Okay. Before you put this down on any surface, make sure those feet are down. I told Laura that. I was like, hey, one thing I got to teach you about this before you do it is you got to make sure those feet are down. She totally didn't. Put it right down, I think in the sand of all things. And yep, I got a Laura, which is all I have. So I have to be appreciative for the Laura I have, not the Tom I don't have. Wait, did that sound right? Yeah, I think you know what I'm saying. All right, so just make sure those feet are down. Here we have the battery. And it does have two different size batteries. If you're a super stickler for rules and you're not a licensed drone pilot, you have to use the light battery because that boosts the weight of this thing over the top, but they do add quite a bit more flight time. We're actually gonna test some different things out once we get a licensed drone pilot here, because we follow all the rules here at Vert and Ride. In fact, some say I'm so into following rules that it's a problem. That's just a thing that I'm known for. Okay, that's the drone. Oh, one more thing. Here's where the card is, right in the back there. So you pop in a card here. It does have a little bit of onboard storage, or at least it claims to. Like when I was setting it up, it's like, do you want to record to the card or the internal storage? I'm like, always to a card. I never want my footage trapped on a device. I don't know how hard it is to get it off of there. All right, now we're going to talk about the controller, which is the easiest to fly controller ever. Again, there's a bunch of drone purists out there. They're like, if you're not flying dual stick, you're not really flying. I don't want to fly. I'm not here to fly. I want to ride. I need a Laura foolproof controller, and this is. She knows how to fly this kind of drone because all you got to do is like left, right, or maybe it's left, right, and forward, up and down, and then trigger for speed. This drone doesn't go backwards, and it doesn't need to because it can shoot in 360 degrees. You never need to worry about where this drone is aiming, and that's its biggest advantage over other drones. If this is close to your subject, don't worry about where it's looking. It can see behind it. It can see on top of it. It can see in front of it. It can see on the side of it. It doesn't matter what angle this is pointing at, and that's the big deal. That's a huge deal. That means we're going to be able to get shots, and we already have gotten some shots that were just really hard with FPV style drone, that's first person view style drone. That's where you look like you're in the aircraft, versus the cinematic drones that fly around. You can steer the camera in all the directions. This doesn't worry about that. So the thing about this is you're going to want to fly it enough where you get really, really good at blind sticking this thing, meaning you know where the buttons are by feel, because the next part of this is the goggle. I am a huge fan of FPV style drones with goggles. Why? Because you're almost always shooting outside. So it's bright outside, and I don't care how bright your screen is. Most prosumer gear is not made for it, so you're building, you know, shader boxes and stuff to see what you're doing. This totally takes care of that problem. You're inside here, and you know what? It's actually a really cool experience inside of here. Like, actually, this is the most immersive drone I've ever flown, because you can look around and just look at whatever you want to. When it's in the right mode, you can like totally look to your right and like see if your subject is there. You can look to your left, you can look all around. They updated the software on this, and I would say that the optical avoidance, which is now camera based plus a little bit of LiDAR infrared based, but it's mostly taking place in the 360 degrees camera. It is as good, as fast, and as likely to save your drone's butt as DJI. These FPV drones with the goggles and this style controller, not the dual stick, they're the easiest to, like, almost anyone can fly these. If you have any basic video game skills, you can basically put this thing up in the air and fly them. Unlike my DJI Avata drone, I'm a little less likely to take this one through the forest and the jungles and stuff. Why? Because it doesn't have ducted fans. Okay? This has free fans, like the props are just freely floating, meaning if it clips a branch or something, my Avata would just bounce off most of the time. These are going to shred the props. So I'm not going to thread this through chairs like, you know, and ladders and, you know, stuff like that. But I think the advantage of not having the ducted fans is a better deal here, because this thing is super quiet, especially compared to all the ducted fan drones I've ever had, the ducted prop drones. And it's super quiet. It takes off weight. It means it's a longer fly time. It is more efficient. Like the ducted, I think the only advantage they really give is protecting the wings, which you could buy a wing, protecting the props. You can buy a prop protector kit. I wouldn't expect that to really save you either. When those strap-on prop protectors, they're not the same as ducted. Ducted, you have to crack the craft, you know, you have to hit so hard that it broke the plastic. Whereas the ones that you strap on afterwards, they're flexible, they don't work as well. So just saying, like, if you're shooting for eFoiling, these are shouldn't be concerns for you for the most part. You're going to be flying out in the water where hopefully there are no obstacles to worry about. So I think now I'm going to power up everything, and then I'm going to show you, I'm going to record from inside the headset. I'm going to record some footage on the drone, and we're going to set a path. Why? Because I have a Laura, not a Tom. Tom would just follow me around out there, probably really close to me, and get awesome shots, right? But Laura is afraid of the water because she's crashed so many drones trying to capture me. And I'm so tired of giving her direction, like, no, you got to put it here. And her like going, I'm afraid. And then I'm like, just do it. It's my drone. It's my money lost, you know? And she's like, no. And then I'm like, God damn it, do it. Get this shot. Yeah, I'm tired of having that. So what I do is I program a path in here, and then I have it fly this path, and all she really has to do is legally have her hand on the trigger. So if it, you know, starts flying towards, I don't know, a fuel depot or something, she can stop it before it, you know, blows up everything, I guess. So that's really all she has to do, is just stop it from crashing into people or things, you know. And you know how we are about following rules here at Verdant Ride. I would never, ever get in the water without a pilot and just have a drone auto track me. I mean, anything could happen, and I would never, ever do that, ever. Okay, So yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I'm gonna fly, I'm gonna have it fly its own path. I'm gonna have it fly really low, like dangerously low. I wanna be able to touch this thing, you know, right? That's where you're gonna get really good shots. And I'm gonna try some follow shots, and I'm gonna try to learn the path so I can be in front of it and then follow it and be on the side of it and wave to you guys and just all sorts of cool stuff. So that's what we're going to do next. One of the features, I don't know if this is a big selling feature, but maybe some people would like it. One of these eyeballs, they'll show what the drone is seeing while it's flying to people on the outside of the helmet, which is kind of cool. Mostly, we used to do that, like we'd have people plug in their phones to the headset so they could see what's going on. This is more convenient, but you do get a lot of children trying to look into your eyeball. Like, so you'll be flying and you'll feel their hot little faces breathing on you. And you're like, can you go away from me, please? Because children are gross and terrible. They're unfinished people. They have no business being in that close to my eyeball. So I would call it a downside to have that feature. We are going to fly a drone now. To turn on these things, it's the same as DJI drones. You find the power button, you hold it down once and then you hit it again until it makes a happy noise. My goggles are already on. You wear this guy right here. That's your little battery. Keeps the weight off your head. I'm a big fan of that kind of thing. Although an argument could be made that it's better to counterbalance that. All right. Try to keep your forehead grease off of these. Then you would adjust your focus and your IPD. That's interpupillary distance for those of you who are not ophthalmologists. You slide these back and forth, and what I do is I just close one eye until then I got it perfect and it's like fully in focus. I twist these. Here's a good thing. If you have the most common vision issue, which is age-related macular degeneration, which is the most annoying thing ever about getting old. You can, these have diopters in them, so you can focus them and make up for that. You don't have to wear glasses with these unless you have that other kind of vision problem, which I refer to as bad genetics. All right, so I'm looking in here. I got to figure out how to record. I also have to figure out how to, yep, there we go. Okay, if you do not see your marker in here, just tap down on this wheel right here. Just push on it and it will recenter that. I'm not going to update the flight software right now. I am going to try to figure out how to record in headset. So we are going to do screen recording. All right, we are screen recording, not flight simulator, camera parameters, virtual cockpit, don't need that. Outer display and ring light. Okay, currently in use. Let's see what we got here. Oh, there's some ugly crap in here. I'm gonna have this cyborg eyeball. All right, let's see. How's that look? Look good? I'm trying to figure out how do I, oh, I have defog mode, neat, okay. Oh yeah, Laura likes defog mode. She's like, it's like a fan on my eyeballs. All right, return to home brake. I think we're good. I think we can fly. And we are going to hit the record button. I always do that. This doesn't have auto record when on takeoff. Okay, here we go. Hold this button, push it up twice. Motor started. Then just push up on the slider and we take off.
Home point updated.
All right.
Takeoff.
So we look around. We're gonna fly over here. Oh, I gotta make sure this thing's in normal mode. Yep. All right. So I'm gonna just take it out over the water so I'm not getting any warnings. I can rotate this button to look at myself. Hi, myself. It's always so surreal when you see yourself in FPV drone. Just like, oh, it's so meta. Okay, one thing I'll say is that I don't see a way to reduce the warnings of this. And it is like hyper, like, oh my God, there's a tree in the world. All right, I'm gonna get about 4 meters off the water, 3.6 meters off the water. I'm gonna open up the sky path, and I'm going to create a new route. Okay, here we go. And then I push C1 to add a waypoint. So here's my first waypoint. I just added one. Then I'm going to cruise out across the water. All right. Oh, we're going to go to our buoy over here, I think. I'm going to hit another waypoint right at our buoy. And again, it doesn't matter which way this is looking. You don't really have to worry about it. I'm gonna zoom it. I'm gonna turn around. So I just say that's us. If I were to wave, you won't see me because I'm way too far away and covered by trees. This chair's way too leaned back. All right, and I'm gonna hit another waypoint right. Meow. So now I have another waypoint. You can see in the map down there that it's been added. Okay, then I'm going to cruise out this way. One thing I don't love, right, is I can't spin the wheel while flying, because again, this thing can't fly in reverse. But it would be really nice if I could sometimes. Like, I can just turn my head and look, but you know, if I'm sitting down, it's not always super duper convenient. All right, I'm going to set another point a little bit closer to the water. One thing I gotta tell you about drones, man, you gotta be careful over water, because water is death to these, like just death. And all the waterproof drones I've flown, their quality is not good enough for me to consider as legit, as okay. Setting another waypoint right meow. All right, then we're gonna zoom. Let's go over to Leo's house, shall we? In fact, let's try this. Let's zoom over here and let's make a zigzag to Leo's house, huh? Okay, we're gonna it's just easier for me to check where we are. Okay, we're gonna hit a zigzag meow like that. Then I'm gonna cruise this way a little bit. And yeah, that way, like, it can fly over my head and like get both sides of me. I'm gonna tap that, another waypoint there, and I'm gonna do another ziggity zag right meow. And like I'm saying, like, it is so immersive to be in a 360 drone, because if I just look in a direction, I can see, like, you know, if I were to stand up, which I don't necessarily recommend for most people, like, unless you're used to doing 3D surgeries and stuff in virtual reality, standing and drone flying can be, I've seen people fall down and walk into trees and shit. Like, I don't recommend it. Like, unless you're really good at virtual environments, 360 virtual environments. Another one here. Now I got a nice zigzag. I'm up to number 7 here. Then I'm gonna fly all the way up to Leo's dock. Yeah, right, like right here. That'll come in handy in case he wants me to ever fly a sortie for him. All right, let's see. I am, how high am I? 5.5. Okay, we're gonna set a waypoint here. Then we're gonna cruise out to Mary's dock. All right, we're gonna take a snapshot right here. And then I think we'll get a little further away and maybe we can do a nice tracking shot with the trees behind me here. Get a shot, meow, like that. And then I think we'll just cruise home. Yeah, we'll do a zig there, and we'll do a zag meow right here. Ziggity zaggity. Well, you know what? It's nice to have these landmarks in the water. I'm just going to fly to our ball here. That way I always kind of know, okay, it's on that part of the flight path. Take a nice shot there. All right, we're up to number 13, and we'll fly us home. I'll have it fly over this buoy right here. God, I could use this for marking trees. It would be actually great for that. Now, one thing you got to know is if you have the flight speed too high on your path, it will shut off obstacle avoidance. So just be wary of that when you're bringing it home. And unlike the DJI, you can't just use its mapping feature to set independent speeds. As far as I know, you can only set one major main speed. I'm going to park it over our target and land it. And what's cool is you can just look down to make sure you're on top of the landing pad. All right, I don't usually recommend auto landing near a lake because things can go wrong, and it has for me with DJI drones in the past. So extremely low altitude. Yes, I'm aware. Oh, it sees those plants and it doesn't want to land. Okay, fine. Am I on top of it? I think I'm on top of it. Let's take a look.
Landing.
Oh yeah, it's just going to land perfectly on the pad. And even when it's on the ground, I can look around and yep, everything's good there. That was perfect sortie. Now let's take it off and let's check our flight path. I'm going to cancel recording. And I'm going to, start a new one. It just started a new one when I hit the recording button. Take a nice picture here. Good. And let's go fly our flight plan. So I'm going to hit the menu button. I'm going to go to SkyPath. I'm going to go to our latest one, which was 6. Yep, that's it. Oh, I got to recenter this. What do these dots do? Edit. Oh, should we name this? Edit. Yep, that's our flight path. I don't know. It takes 5 minutes, 33 seconds. I know there's a way. Oh, there it is. All right, we're going to make it. Oh my God, there's another problem with this thing. Everything's in meters per second. I have driven in countries where it's kilometers per hour. I know it's just math. But I'm an American, we use Imperial here. I don't know how we became the most powerful nation on the planet using Imperial, but we did. They should really make Imperial as an option. I do not see a way to do that. And then you can change the smoothness. Let's make it fucking crazy smooth. All right, we're saving, and we are flying. Start. Confirm. And again, I'm going to be the pilot, and the only thing I'm going to do, I'm going to do is make sure it doesn't crash and crash into fuel depots. And then I pick up this gem, boink, and then it's going to find the next gem. And there we are on track, and I'm riding a fucking broom. I'm not a fan of this. I don't need to ride a broom, but I don't necessarily know how to shut this off, and I'm not going to right now. This seems awfully fast. It seems like this feels really, really fast, right? Fine, whatever. Yeah, this feels too fast. What is that, a duck? Yep, that was a loon or a duck. I do like this, the way it shows the sky path here, picking up the gems at the points. Boink. Should make a noise when I pick those up. It should be like, a video game. In fact, I'm amazed there's not a mode where I can set flight paths and that people try to fly it as a video game, because that would be effing fun, right? Oh, and you can use the wheel right now to like look all around you. How fast are we flying? We're flying, I don't know, where's speed? Oh, there it is. We're 10 meters per second. I do not know what that is in miles per hour. I mean, kilometers per hour. Okay. Yeah, I feel like this is just too fast. Get the gems, get the gems. And if I push the trigger, it does nothing. And if I hit the controller, it does nothing. But if I spin the wheel, it does turn where the camera is aiming. It doesn't change the drone, yaw, or anything. It doesn't change anything. This is a perfect flight path. Like, honestly, this does a better job of following a flight path than the DJI. And I think it's because the DJI is relying on GPS and GPX data, right? And I think this is relying on its 360-degree optical camera, which is like the best probably in the world for prosumer, or consumer, I guess I should say, 360 imaging. And it does a phenomenal job of lining it up, even over water. Like, this is where I was. It's doing a great job. I'm going to do a ziggity zag at 11. Zig out to 12. My battery's at 55%. We're going to be able to do even another flight after this. The Sony camera just ate the dust. Is it out of juice, or is it overheated like it always is? Do not buy the, what is it? What is this camera? What is this dumb camera that I own? The Sony, oh God, I'm standing and I'm flying. That's hard to do. The Sony, I have to tell you guys what not to buy. Do not buy this camera. Like, I've had great luck with Sony I better watch this coming in for the flight here and make sure it doesn't crash. We're hauling ass here. Do I have my phone? Hey Siri, are you here? Last gem. Mission complete. All right, that was good. I'm gonna edit one thing. I'm gonna edit. The speed is too much. We're gonna try 8.3. We're gonna save that. All right, that's 2.1 kilometers. And it's gonna take 4 minutes. This is perfect for a song. Let's start it, confirm. We're gonna record and fly. Do not love the broom. I don't like, maybe you guys aren't seeing the broom. Like, this might just be for me, but as far as I know, I am recording. I'm recording the screen in here, so hopefully maybe you're seeing it. And it does have a purple tail. All right. Now let's figure out what happened to my Sony here. Turn on camera. Were you out of juice, or, because like you had a fully charged battery. Oh shit, I hit a button. What did I hit? Well, it didn't fuck anything up. Okay. Power on. Well, that battery depleted fast. Sorry about that, guys. The Sony camera that always lets me down, let me down. But it's recording my voice, so I probably still got a show here. All right, we are at 47% battery. We are still good. This is a good height. I think this is a good speed. That's it. We're home. I put it in comfort mode. It's still maintaining speed. And I can't even really hear the drone. returning. It's a pretty quiet drone. All right, mission complete. Virtual cockpit. I want that off, man. Off is not an option. It's like they forgot. Like I try to click on the off button and there's I want that one, but it's not an option. I like the sky path. You can set it from crystals to coins if you're more into that. I like that on. That lets me know where it's going to fly. Sky path view. Free view. Sky path view. Oh, cool. Flight view. Oh, that's like FPV view. It'll always be forward. What's scenic view? I guess I don't know what the difference is scenic and free is. Whatever. We're going to go to free so Laura can look all around. Back. And we're going to name this one. Can I name it? Edit. Nope. I don't know how to name things. Maybe you can't. I guess you have to know it by the date. 6-6. That's what we're calling it. Okay. We're going to get out of here. We're going to fly us home. We're going to land. I'm gonna get kind of close to the target. I'm gonna see what happens if I try to land it. Will it fly over the target? Super won't. Nope. Push and hold slider down while pointing the. Okay.
Landing.
No, no. You're supposed to land a target, you dummy. Okay. And, oh yeah, we're done. Okay. Oh, I gotta shut off all recordings. Okay, and recording is off. That would be in here.